Automobilista 2 is the best racing simulator on the Valve Steam Deck, and to make it even better, I've produced a Game & Muscle gyroscopic control profile to allow you to play Automobilista 2 on the Steam Deck in the most natural way possible. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I've done with the gyroscopic controls, why Automobilista 2 is so good on the Valve Steam Deck, and why there's no escape from sim racing now, because you've basically got a full-blown PC simulator in your pocket. It really is sad times.
Game & Muscle Videos is independent thanks to channel members, subscribers, like button clickers. I don't know what's wrong with you all, but it's really appreciated.
Welcome to Handheldo Muscle and Automobilista 2 on the Valve Steam Deck. And I have to say, it genuinely is really surprising how good it is. Now, Automobilista 2 is built on the Madness engine, which was originally used for Project Cars 1 and Project Cars 2, and as a result, it's really well optimized, with Project Cars 1 and 2 being planned to be released on the Wii U, I believe. However, the Wii U was just too slow, but it came out on all those gen consoles. I think it was Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3. So as a result, in 2024, you can now run AMS2, thanks to the graphics engine, on an absolute potato. Great for VR and great for the Valve Steam Deck. Now, by default, the game also has really good gamepad support because of its console heritage with the engine. However, as you guys know, playing with a gamepad is really not that good for more realistic racing simulators. What you really need is a steering wheel. If you're doing portable gaming though, you don't have a steering wheel, do you? So the next best thing is to use gyroscopic controls. And what that involves is there's an accelerometer, multiple accelerometers in some handheld controllers and the Steam Deck. And when you tilt and rotate the controller, that then can be used to control the steering wheel and the steering rotation. Crucially though, it's not just a simple case of going enable gyro. Unfortunately, it's actually quite complicated, and I spent about 4 or 5 hours messing around with this, and the best settings that I found for the gyroscope and the gyroscopic behavior were to use the gyroscope as a simulated joystick. So from the game's perspective, it thinks when I tilt left and right and do various things with the Steam Deck, it thinks that I'm just moving the controller. So the game doesn't even know I'm using a gyro. The end result is, and this is one of the really powerful things with the Steam Deck, you can really use gyros and whatever controls you want with games that originally didn't actually support gyro or other types of input. You can basically customize things infinitely. Needless to say though, the way we've got this set up is that I have it pretty sensitive so that when you tilt the controller left, the wheel goes left and you can move it like this. When you tilt it right, it goes right, and you can turn outer corners and you can drive very smoothly. And then you can adjust the sensitivity of that either in the game using the car sensitivity options, or through the Steam Deck using this either the joystick power curve, which sort of affects the linearity of the gyro sensitivity, or you can change this minimum gyro deflection angle. The lower this is, the more sensitive the rotation will be, and the more sensitive the input will be. The higher this is, the less sensitive it will be. So those are the main things to know in terms of adjusting this profile for the input. I have saved my profile in Steam as a community layout. I'm not sure if it's showing all the time. I will try and link this as well in the description of this video. But we've called it Game & Muscle Pro Gyro T-Bag 1.0. And I'll keep adjusting and tweaking this and improving it when I get time to. But basically, you can think of this as the game sees it as an Xbox controller effectively, but you can control it with gyro. In terms of the in-game settings, before we actually drive and I'll show you what it's generally like, I'll just show you the in-game settings so you can have an idea of the sensitivity, because there's some crucial things that happened with this, namely initially there was a dead zone in the game, which made it very hard when the wheel was at the centre. And also you have some issues with when you're going faster, being precise. Ultimately, a gyro is never going to be as good as a steering wheel. And it's a bit of a fiddle, and you will still need to do some tweaking for your preferences and depending on the situation that you're using your Steam Deck in. I imagine if you're on a plane or a bus, you might need to make it less sensitive, or if you're lying down versus if you're sat down, you know, there might be different tweaking settings you can use. Hopefully, though, you can see those settings that I'm using here. We've got no dead zones, steering sensitivity set to 50, speed sensitivity set to 51, and that's about it really. Nothing too complicated. The nice thing with speed sensitivity is if you find yourself struggling to drive in a straight line, or you're throwing the car into a spin when you're going quickly, increase the steering speed sensitivity, and that way as you go faster the input will get less sensitive on the car. So let's jump into a race here and you can have an idea of what this is like. Really nice actually with the Steam Deck. It's really like having a PC in your pocket. We've got all the stats here at the top, and you can see that for the most part, Automobilista 2 runs between 70 and 90 FPS. You have like the equivalent of, you get no frame tearing or anything. You've got really good, it's not really G-Sync, I think it's an AMD version of G-Sync, but you have all these really nice features that make the game look absolutely phenomenal on the Steam Deck. I have turned the graphics down quite low in Automobilista 2 to get a higher frame rate. I'm more frame rate than graphics, especially on a portable device with a small screen. However, you can turn the graphics up in the game, and you can even use the Steam Deck menu to cap the frame rate of the Steam Deck to then get a very smooth performance with much higher settings. Absolutely incredible and mind-blowing. So getting onto track here, and one of the nice things with how we've set this up is that the gyro isn't always on. The gyro is activated by pushing down on the D-pad. So if I want to, or the right analog stick, if I want to, I can just drive using the gamepad as if there's with no gyro at all. But if I want that extra smooth and precise gyro driving, I can just push the D-pad, bop, and now we are driving with the gyro by just tilting the controller left and right. Now, the nice thing with the gyro, the biggest thing from an input perspective, is that you can really precisely unwind out of corners. And this right here, I am not using any assists on the driving here. There's absolutely no assist. This is as raw as Automobilista 2 can be. I would probably recommend using the counter steer assist, and that really helps if you're struggling with losing the rear of the car. And I would also say actually the counter steer assist in Automobilista 2 is actually really nicely done. Like, it feels natural, and in a sense the counter steer assist is basically emulating this sort of self-aligning force that you'd get with a force feedback wheel, where the wheel will correct itself. So it might seem like it's sort of cheating using counter steer assist, but I actually think it's pretty organic, and if it lets you play the game and enjoy it without it getting in the way, that's very nice. This car, one of the reasons why I've picked it here is it's actually one of the more leery cars. So if you can drive this with a gyro control nicely, well, any of the sort of road cars, things with, oh, we missed the corner there, things that are smoother to drive, you're going to find it even easier. I just think it's really surprising with a handheld device that you see this is hitting 85 FPS. It looks fantastic. Brands Hatch with its trees in all its glory. And thanks to the gyro input and also the analog sticks on the Steam Deck, you can actually brush up on sort of basic sim racing aspects of driving. Like, you can apply one of the nice things with sims is that once you've learned to track, once you've learned brake points, once you've learned general car handling, it basically applies to every simulator. So it's just surprising that you can have that from a handheld device. So you see here we can wobble this left and right, and it's those kind of situations where you might want to do little snap corrections, that's where a joystick really struggles. It's the unwinding phase that's typically very difficult with a joystick, but thanks to the gyro on the Steam Deck, you can do that a lot better. Also, there's some settings, I won't go through them in this video, but there are some additional settings that allow you to further tweak the sensitivity of the gyro in terms of if you're doing like a snap correction like this, you can tweak it so it ignores degrees of that. You can also further tweak the sensitivity to really get things absolutely dialed in to your preference. But yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. As I say, if you want to get these controls and try it for yourself, well, you'll need a Steam Deck, won't you? But then you can go to the community layouts. It should be there. For some reason, it's not displaying right now. But you can, you should be able to go to community layouts and then search for Gamer Muscle Pro Gyro T-Bag 1.0, or maybe it'll be a newer version by the time that you get it. Before I go, it is worth saying AMS2 on the Steam Deck is the same version of the game. It's Steam with AMS2. So it has everything that you have on the PC version, because it is the same, which is mental. So when AMS2 drops an update, well, it works on there. There's no waiting around for your sort of console version of the game to come out. It's there, it's done. Absolutely mind-blowing. And I just think the Steam Deck, to me, completely blows things away. And I do think the Steam Deck and platforms like this could possibly rescue PC gaming, because this is a hell of a lot cheaper than a PC and a hell of a lot more accessible. So I also hope that other simulators start coming out on the Steam Deck, and also hope that other sim developers take the gyro controls and other options seriously, because this is a real gateway into people ruining their lives playing racing simulators. Hopefully you found this video useful, informative, and not too miserable. If you did enjoy it, by all means you can click that like button and subscribe, and we'll have more content coming soon. But thanks for watching, happy tea drinking, take care, and goodbye.